Please join us at the Oscars Sunday, February 24th to find out who will take home the Oscars.
Congratulations to all the nominees.
Oscar nominations announced early this morning out in LA, and of course the usual list of surprises, but an interesting Washington angle this year with a solid number of the nominated films and actors in films that related to the district. And so Ann Hornaday joins us to discuss that and kind of a bunch of different angles on this. So we have what? Argo, Lincoln, and I feel like Rick Perry, I'm forgetting the third.
Zero Dark 30,
Zero Dark
baby.
30, which
Absolutely.
comes out Friday.
Indeed.
All with the DC angle.
Yes, it's been a really fascinating study, and not only a DC angle, because we're sort of used to by now to see DC used as a backdrop. But in all these movies, DC, it's really the DC process that's celebrated. In Lincoln, of course, we see the Congress doing its job, not always prettily, by the way. I mean, they're kind of scurrilous, and they're inefficient, and they're argumentative, and they're fractious, but they manage to get it done with the leadership of this tenacious president. And then in Argo, you see a CIA operative getting a bunch of American diplomats out of Tehran during the hostage crisis. This has been a long classified story that only came to light in the last several years. It's now finally being told. And Zero Dark 30, sort of the same CIA procedural in terms of how they executed the mission to find and then finally kill Osama bin Laden. That movie especially really pays homage to the military and intelligence people that always go nameless because of the jobs that they do. We don't know their names, we never will. But I think the filmmakers really seek to sort of show us just the day-to-day in and out, what it's like to do those jobs. So I think local film goers should be really pleased to kind of see our working lives represented and kind of honored in all these movies.
And there's a good chance it'll be a DC film that wins the big prize, because it looks to me like the path is opening up for Lincoln, as amateur Oscar watcher that I am.
I think that's a pretty reasonable prediction, especially. The big snubs this morning were in the directing category for Ben Affleck for Argo and Catherine Bigelow for Zero Dark 30. Unfortunately, by my view, because I think both of them did a really outstanding job with really gnarly stories and tonal challenges with both those stories.
And can I jump in to maybe explain why that's important? Because there's usually or often overlap between the director winning and the Best Picture winner, and now that we've nominated all these Best Pictures, we have 9 this year, when you look at the director list, it's a smaller list, and maybe that tells you who the films that really have a chance to win are.
Exactly, and I think if you look at this list of the Best Picture nominees, I mean, Spielberg really does jump out. Although, it's funny because he has won the Oscar for Schindler's List, but there was that year when he had Saving Private Ryan in the running, and everybody just assumed it was a lock for all of the big awards, and Shakespeare in Love snuck in and upset. So this might be another year where something like a Silver Linings Playbook could, kind of get in there. But it really does sort of look like it's going to be Lincoln's year, and rightfully so. I mean, it's just a magnificent film.
Okay, and February 24th, we will mark our calendars.
You bet.
Thanks.
Thank you.